Okay, take two. Wasn't sure what was causing it, so I figured I'd just reset the stream quickly. Um, like I had been saying, Trails in the Sky, first chapter. It's my second favorite series after Final Fantasy, and I really love this. And I sort of wanted to replay it, and I figured why not replay it with you guys. Well, nobody's watching, but metaphorically speaking, right? So carry over everything from former playthroughs on Nightmare, and it looks like it's working now. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me though, I brought you a present. Reading is hard. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go outside when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Now why don't you come have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Testing? Okay. Noticed I was peeking, so... drop the volume some. Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? I love Estelle. Why would you be given a dead boy as a gift? Looks kinda dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair, and a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Sherazard, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Oh, where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just work out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! I love Estelle. You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle! Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it... Oh, wait a minute, don't try and change the subject. Ow! Quit yelling! Alright already. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, me jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name, you know, that thing that people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? Seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... Oh, it's a harmonica. It's so nice watching this. It reminded me of all the people that I knew before, because it's been so long since I played this game. So since I just played Daybreak, Jin is not... has been a bit more recent for me. I'm going to try, though, to not say any specific spoilers, though I might accidentally mention it, just in case people do find this who haven't played before. I'm also not certain how well this is going from my computer to the stream, so it might turn out that I need to play with the settings so in between this stream and next one, so like the words and stuff are legible. I'll do my best, but I can't promise anything. It's so bright in here. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Ah, guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then, too. Nice, Joshua. Bravo! Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, but with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. And what do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man. How wrong are you, Joshua? We may be the same age, but I'm clearly the woman of the house. That makes you something like my loyal follower. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune though, cheerful yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. Or what's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right. The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think a harmonica is much easier. It really is just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff, like reading and music. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Oh, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although, I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really, I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning, or in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful it won't be long before I pass you too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start our rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today. Remember? Huh? Well, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if you failed, you'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, I totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike. But whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara's gonna be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Ron-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right, I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude. But I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. You're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it! One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. Receive 500 Mira. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Whoops. I clicked off. 1 second. Not used to playing on the PC. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Charizard my regards. Okay. I'm gonna pull up a walkthrough. Because I'm worried about trails, especially the older trail stuff is bad in terms of like what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Surprise, like, oh look, here's a I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, here's like a secret Platinum World Talisman. A secret quest that if you don't do, right, you don't get the extra points and stuff, and I want to do all that, right? So I've just got my I've got the guide up for that sort of thing. This is a replay, so I got high-level quartz and equipment that I'm just using off the bat. It's fascinating how, like, in later games in this series, you can do like action 1, action 2, and action 3 all in the same person's orbment, which really makes it easy to break the games wide open, right? That's not the case in this one, so I'm not 100% sure why they changed it, or well, yeah, I'm not gonna complain. It's just wild how that is the case. Eagle Eye. See enemies from a distance. Can't see enemies on the distance means you can see enemies on the mini-map. So it's a useful thing to have. 3 and information. We have some good orbital arts. Estelle and Joshua, though, are not really, good casters in general, so like... Oh shit, if I can't do Nightmare, I'm gonna have to restart, huh? Oh well. Well, I've got the retry offset. I'll eventually be able to force my way through anything. Save! Okay. Now, we're gonna go from our house to Roland. What is okay? And so this is the mini map. So we're going that way. Okay. No combat yet because we haven't had the combat tutorial. So we're just running. Cool. Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. Before we do that, we're going to go to the general goods store and pick up the newspaper for Cassius. Good morning, Mr. Renan. Hello there, Estelle and Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes? Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stragas? Unbelievable. You've actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Of course. You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid that the new Stragas aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of the Liberal News, though, I should have them in around noon. Noon, huh? That's right in the middle of our training at the guild house. We'll stop by again after our training is over. Sure, I'll be waiting for you. Okay, I did not remember that. So then, the Bracer Guild is the one. The symbol of the Bracer Guild's the gauntlet thing. So, here we are. Oh, there you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracers Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Invergence through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. What, Joshua? Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework. Acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all of your best traits accurately. Whatever. I love those two. They're great. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Her face was really intent. Oh, this. I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. I should have written down which those are, because I'd like to look those up. What their meanings are my own time. Oh well, too late now. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Ornaments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zamurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent. It is known for its high level of technology used to develop ornaments. Ornament technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But, thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Let's see, since we've got the mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this was a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at the desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at the desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Oh, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something we need to give both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two. Go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebook. This is your in-game, like, keeping track of everything you picked up, your missions, that sort of stuff. It's really cool how they do it, I think. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear, or anything that you may find and where, these kind of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, cause I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Okay. This is how you pick up side quests. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks that need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this task about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here? No problem. Leave everything to me. So what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that the lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be open at an Orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of CPS too. We don't have to worry about it because it's a New Game Plus and I already opened everything, right? EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it that you would like to know about? arts. Simply put, orbital arts are magic, which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think that information should suffice for now. Quartz are circuits made from sepis. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of those effects until a quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. Sepis are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, Time, Space, and Mirage. Sepis can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the orbital factory it can be used to synthesize quartz into open orbment slots, in which to install the synthesized quartz. I've already done all of this in my previous playthrough, so this isn't something we're going to worry about in this one. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some CPIS. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at the shop, you would be able to exchange CPIS for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service. Modify trade. As you can see, they're all open. I also like none of these are useful because I have better ones. Anyways, if I was doing this for real, like if this is my first playthrough, you'd be making an action one for Joshua, and an attack one probably for Estelle, unless you're like starting off on Nightmare, with it not being a new game plus, in which case you want the defense. Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install quartz into your orbment so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Really, game? Joshua is slightly better. I can't do it there. Alright, it looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance our arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. This concludes your training here at the Orbital facility. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about that test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Estelle is like the ADHD queen of the series, and I love her. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for it. How about a little yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua! All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that, too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So, what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try and look at least a little anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you won't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Ronin's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. What's the book for? It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure to treat it as such. Okay. There appears to be a recovery point set up there. Let's use it to for HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Okay, so these you go to and you rest for your P. Rest builds your HP and EP. Momentum points. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. since we are level 14 and we are fighting like level 1 monsters.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Yeah, first off we get 0 XP for it basically. In part 2, even though it's a nightmare, we're gonna one-shot basically everything for a while. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay! So basically, arts can be useful if they're like resistant to physical attacks, or like they evade physical attacks well. But you have the downside of they take time to be cast.
Piece of cake.
Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just doing enough damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that! So crafts aren't as long range as arts, but they are more powerful than just plain physical attacks. They also require you to have CP, which you see on the bottom of the 3 bars. That goes up as you, whatchamacallit. Like as you attack things, it goes up to 200. It also goes up if you take damage. And you get more and more powerful crafts as you level up. So that's how
That's
you use
that then.
crafts.
Let's move out.
Again, as you can see, there's not really much danger. Found a reviving ball. Every chest has its own empty message. This chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. And I see, yeah, we don't have a map of chests. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using the Navcraft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of these moves. It's a limit break. It's a limit break. Joshua's is area of effect. Estelle's is single person. So Joshua's is like literally a
You're finished.
but he's good for clearing out large small enemies. And Estelle's is good for laying a
All right,
lot of damage
we're good to go.
onto one singular like boss. Actually, any other doors? Seems like we've got a little breathing room. At least I forgot to read. Sorry. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. I love this aspect of Trails combat. It's what makes it one of the better turn-based combat systems in my opinion. You can see, I am pointing at the screen, you can't see me do that. You can see like next to Estelle's turn, she's got a heart, and that increases, probably HP, right? But you can actually see, like, we'll do there.
Ha!
Right. Now we kill them, and yay.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Found small box. Huh, that's weird. There's a couple boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one but two is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I'd like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic bill for the both of us. Just for a real job, the contents of these boxes would belong to the client. As long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, but I just can't help myself. You absolutely have to know what's inside. Why not ask Miss Cheryl when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright, alright. Can you just not go through this door? Okay. Cool. Might as well rest here and top off on the Okay. Now we leave. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. I figured you would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and for you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's go back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed, it seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting is how you resolved the situation, and the steps you took to get there are all parts of your job as a bracer. You can report words are hard. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. As you know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Rodent branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training. Boop, boop. So we get payment, we get to BP. BP is basically completion points. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report your results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a special piece of equipment by the guild. The ranks of the junior bracers start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira into BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left now to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina, and sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it, training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Shira, it'll involve the whip. Let me say again, good work you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning from your own real-world experience. Well done. Sherazard holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones? In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open up the boxes. Received Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Ahem! Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome to the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild! So I'm a Bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to set in. Come on, Joshua! You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed-up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand you have been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shira, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shira. Don't mention it, training new recruits is one of a Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on so that you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good, middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good, middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right! Okay. Boop. Hurry and come on out. Come on. Look, look. Well, wait for me, Luke. Huh, oh, it's you two. Oh, great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp, what's with the "oh great, it's Estelle" remark? What's with the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. Tisk, how wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in the world than the milk that comes from the Purzel farm. But no way, you're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers. More like bracers in training. Really, don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart, aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle? What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. Estelle, you're getting into a fight with a kid. What do you mean, mature people? Oh, and that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how to put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm going to go train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm going to be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. That boy Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. Well, what do you mean by that? Don't worry about it, it's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke means when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Okay, general store. Maybe I should have you start calling me Hyper Bracer Estelle from now on. By the way, Mr. Renan, did the Liberal News come in? Yeah, it came on a little afternoon. Don't brush me off like that, you two. Oh, whatever, I'll take one copy then. That comes to 100 mira, please. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine, but does it really sell that well? It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camerawoman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. They're even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. One more thing before you go. This gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample item I received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me. Recipe book? What's this supposed to be? There's a ton of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. When you get hurt fighting, if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time, it's gonna cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients anyways, so if you eat something new, write down what's in it and you'll have lots of recipes in no time. So how about we try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie, Estelle. Received people cookie? Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. I wish learning recipes was that easy in real life. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across that you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Well, that sounds pretty convenient. It's not that I don't like cooking and all, but it's just that I never seem to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste buds for once in my life. That's the spirit. And in passing, if you're in need of ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renan. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Blah, blah, blah. Again, like the ordinance, I'm fairly sure I've gotten all the meals already. So let's go to items. Books, recipe book. Yes, so I have here is all. No, I didn't get all the recipes. Huh. But like, the maple cookie heals 80 HP. My best one currently heals 1500 HP. And it restores CP as well. You can't use those during fighting. The best one for during a fight I have heals 1400 HP and plus heals all abnormal statuses. Right? Really nice to have. Do I already have food? This is ingredients. I already have a decent amount of food on me. To the house next door to the Abend Bar. So this is where having that's a blacksmith, right? Yeah, so it's this way, I believe. This is where having the cinema bob open is nice, my walkthrough, because one of the collectibles, for example, okay, so it's a house next to the Abend Bar, I think it's this. One of the collectibles is a book series, and if you get all of the books, you get an ingredient, if I remember correctly, to get an ultimate weapon for one of the characters. The game will not tell you where those books are, or who to talk to, or anything like that. So I need to talk to someone specific. I think it's in this house. I could be wrong. Oh, it's this guy. So I talked to him. I'm not gonna care enough to, he's getting rid of the first chapter of a novel because he doesn't have the rest and his wife wants him to pare down that much, right? Anyways, so we got the first chapter of Cornelia. That's important because we want all of them, right? So Cornelia chapter 1 and the World News chapter 1. I do also have, basically, again, I'm surprised I don't have all the monsters. Because I basically did 100% playthrough last time, but hey. We'll keep an eye out, right? Anyways, now at this point, let's head home. So go back here. Estelle, Joshua, am I glad I found you two? Oh, hi, Ina. Is something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. We've got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. But what's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure we do. In fact, we saw them not that long ago. What's wrong? Are they in some kind of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies on the northern outskirts of Roland. You mean the Tower of Esmalas? Isn't that place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Sherazard is out on other Praetor business, so I wanted to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today. With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is the correct one. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower. I understand. I'll take responsibility for whatever happens. As an emergency request from the Bracer Guild, I ask that you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of those children. Roger that. Understood. The Esmenes Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along the Malga Trail. You can get onto the Malga Trail through Ronin's northwestern gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into any trouble, you know where to find me. This is our first real job. Come on, Joshua, we don't have any time to lose. I'm right behind you. So, Malga Trail, northwest, you can see it marked there. Boop. Boop. So I'm not really gonna fight a lot of things because it's not like I'm gonna get EXP for it. Right? I am gonna dip in here. Okay. Treasure chest. Oh, I have too much revolving walnuts. Let's just pick it up because I want to read the message. Not a thing remains in the chest except a lonely dead spider. Okay. Esmenes Tower is to the left here. We can dip in here. There's another chest for a tier ball. The chest is empty. I wonder whose fault that is. Yeah, there are other chests, I believe, if you went the other direction, but we're gonna have to. Whoops! Did not mean to. Didn't mean to get into a fight, but it's not like it's a...
Alright, we're good to go.
So this gets me to the tower. It looks like we've come all the way to the Esmenes Tower. I didn't see any sign of them along the trail, so do you think they've wandered inside? It's quite likely that's the case. Let's go in. It looks like we'll need to hurry. Right. Any treasure chests hiding? Don't think so, but it can't hurt to check, right? Okay, cool. It's dark in here. I'm scared. Quit being a baby. We're only on the first floor of this place. Do you hear that? They really did come in here. Estelle, are you alright? Luke! Pat! If you can hear me, answer me now. Those little brats, are they pretending they can't hear me? They might have climbed up to the second floor. Let's hurry and see if we can find them. Okay. For my own sanity. So the towers get more complex the further you go into the game, right? But here we go. Well, what are we going to do? Somebody help! Okay, so bracer points. If you choose the correct one, you get bonus points. If you choose the wrong one, you don't. The answer is Russian simultaneously with Joshua. Let's go, Joshua! Right, I've got your bag. Because what you don't want to have happen is have Estelle get abandoned and alone. You monsters go somewhere else. No, shoo, leave us alone. Chew on this. Estelle, what are you doing here? Joshua, you're here too. Get back, you two. These monsters aren't playing around. We'll take care of them. So if these guys die, if they get attacked or whatever, if they die, it's game over. Not really worried though.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Oh no. One hit everything. It looks like that's that. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's safe too. By the way, that was a great timing the way you blitzed those monsters, Estelle. You really think so? Is it safe now? Oh man, that was awesome. You really showed them, Estelle. Not bad for a girl. You little twerp! Oh, that hurts. What are you trying to do to me? What's wrong with you? You even dragged poor Pat all the way up here against his will. Start to think about what you did today. Ow, you're hurting me. Stop it. Like I said, stop it, you violent she-devil. So this is the thanks I get for saving your neck, huh? Looks like it's time to give you some of my special discipline. Oh, Estelle. Oh. Alright, Estelle, I'm sorry. Everything was all my fault. Estelle, shouldn't we forgive each other like they teach at school? That brat doesn't need forgiveness, but a little discipline should do the trick. Estelle, behind you! It's something with teeth, isn't it? Oh, nice, monster! I'm not going to make it in time. Huh? Dad, you came! You still lack skill and understanding, Estelle. You must always prepare for unseen danger by sharpening your senses. That's part of what it means to be a bracer. Dad? Well, what are you doing here? I just happened to be in town and heard the whole story from Ida. I'll give you points for your quick thinking and taking action to come after the children, but you failed to follow through completely. I really messed up, didn't I? It's a good thing you showed up when you did. I'm sorry, I should have been watching her back. That just means you have room for improvement. Constantly working to overcome your weak spots is key. Understood. So how about we head home, everyone? Can you boys walk? I think so. That was incredible, Mr. Bright. You're like a gazillion times more awesome than Estelle. Of course I was. I'm her father. Alright, everyone, let's file on out of here. I'm with you, Mr. Bright. Who's the glory hog now? I mean, I guess I should be thankful that Dad saved my behind. But why does he have to go and take all the credit like that? It really chaps my hide. Haha, that's just the way he is. After all, he is Cassius Bright. Seems like you've had quite a day. Dad is just unbelievable. The second we got back to Roland, he says, "I'll leave the reporting to you," and takes off for home. The sheer nerve, I tell you. There's no need to make a mountain out of a molehill over it. At least the boys came back safe and sound. Anyway, I think that's all there is to report. You did well for your first assignment. From the details of your report alone, I believe I can commend you both for a job well done. You should be proud of yourselves. You really think so? I know so. In fact, you'll do an even better on your next job. If anything else comes up, I would appreciate your help again. Sure. How about we head home too? I guess we'd better. I've still got dinner to prepare. Would you mind holding on a second? A letter arrived for your father just a little while ago. Unfortunately, since he went straight home, I never got the chance to give it to him. You think you could deliver it instead? I wonder if it's more work-related stuff. I imagine so. This letter appears to be from one of our foreign branches. One of the guild's foreign branches. As I'm sure you already know by now, Liberl isn't the only country where the Bracer Guild exists. On top of that, your father is widely known all across the Zamurian continent, so we can expect these kinds of letters from time to time. If you two would be so kind as to make sure that he gets the letter, I would really appreciate it. Okay. Continue on to the story. The next stop will appear. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out when the side quest, the optional side quests appear. I think it's tomorrow. I think I go home and then they appear. Hey, Joshua. Do you think I'm really cut out to be a bracer? Well, you seem to have inherited your father's skill as a staff, and your nosy personality doesn't let you ignore someone in distress. Really? You think so? Sure, but why are you asking? Are you still thinking about what happened back at the tower? Yeah. Because of my carelessness, Luke almost got caught in the middle of a dangerous situation. If Dad hadn't come when he did, he could have been seriously injured. I guess I'm just worried about whether or not I'll be able to stay on top of things in the future. That kind of talk doesn't sound like the Estelle I know. Huh? If we fail today, then all that's left to do is take back our losses tomorrow, right? Overthinking and worrying about things that haven't happened yet is definitely not like you. Isn't being a bracer what you've always dreamed of? How could you expect to succeed if you let something like what happened today discourage you? Joshua? You're right. This isn't like me at all. I don't think a serious expression really suits your face either. You laughing like a big ditz is far more natural for you. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You're gonna see my angry expression if you keep that up. Okay, I admit that the last comment was pushing things a little bit. I'll overlook it this time, and thanks for cheering me up. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready to get home and eat. My stomach just started growling like a bear. Maybe glutton is closer to the mark than this. Okay. We're home, Dad. You finished reporting to the guild like you told us to. Good work, kids. The details of your reports will be reviewed at each branch and will affect your pay and rank advancement in the future. Please make sure that you always remember to do it. Don't worry, we will. And before I forget, I got that copy of the Liberl news you wanted. There was this letter for you at the guild, too. A letter, huh? Well, I'm gonna get cleaned up and start dinner. Oh, and Dad? Thanks for coming when you did today. You really helped me out back there. I see you're being rather gracious today. Papa is happy. How delightful that my daughter has finally understood what a great man her father truly is. There's no need to hold back, Estelle. Come and jump into your father's loving arms. In your dreams. I swear, the men in this house have one thing in common. They never know when to shut up. I guess she's not as depressed as I had thought she'd be. Should I be thanking you, Joshua? I didn't do much. I just gave her a nudge in the right direction. Estelle's a resilient girl to begin with. Yes, she is, but she still has a long way to go. She'll run into more than just a few stumbling blocks in this line of work. And overcoming those obstacles is what will teach her to stand on her own 2 feet. There's that soft side of yours talking again. Oh no, are eggs supposed to explode like that? I guess I shouldn't have gone on and expecting to make a perfect meal in a single try. No, wait, cooking is supposed to be about passion. Exploding eggs are passionate, right? Now, once more. That daughter of mine can sometimes be a little too passionate. I think I'll go help with dinner. We don't want the curtains to catch fire again. But at this rate, there's no telling when we can expect to have a bite of food ready on the dinner table. Alright then, let's see what this letter is all about, shall we? A message from the Erebonian Empire? What? Wow, this is a surprise. This new dish is what I call Estelle's Explosion over Rice. Be sure to savor every last morsel. I will. Your cooking this evening is excellent. My compliments to the chef. This is raw talent at its best. Today certainly has been a busy but great day nonetheless. We qualified as junior bracers, had our first real assignment, and I didn't even lose my eyebrows making dinner this time. Not to mention the food being delicious. For a first attempt, this dish is actually quite edible. At first I thought I might have to pitch it out the window when you weren't looking, but it seems that technique won't be necessary tonight. Sometimes we're just so despicably rude. Dad, don't you just know how to be humble and say something tastes nice? Alright then, how about this? Boy, I never thought I'd be able to eat something wonderful like this before I had to leave on business. You made a splendid meal, Estelle. Thanks, Dad. Wait. Business? Are you really leaving again? Yes. Something unexpected came up. This time, I'm going to be away for a while. Hold on a minute. You're leaving... when? Tomorrow morning. What? I don't care what kind of job you're doing. That's just too soon. It's about that letter, isn't it? Was there some sort of incident? Oh, it's nothing like that. Just a simple investigation. I'll have to visit a number of places, so it'll take me about a solid month before I'm through. That being the case, please take good care of the house while I'm away. What do you mean, that being the case? You always use some vague excuse like that and take off for who knows how long. We have to accept it this time. Bracer's job is to help those who come to us for help. I know. But what are you going to do about all your jobs here at the Roland branch? You already accepted a few of them, haven't you? Oh, only about 5 or 6. So I was thinking, how about both of you handle them for me instead? What? Are you really asking us to do the work that you're supposed to be doing? That I am. I'll have you do the ones which I think you can accomplish. And I'll ask Shard to handle the difficult ones. So what do you say? So this does not have a BP implication. And I personally think Estelle would... Yeah, I think sure. Sure, of course we will. You're okay with doing these too, right, Joshua? Yeah, no problem. Looks like a good way to get some experience as a bracer. Then it's settled. I'll stop by the guild and let Aina know about the change of plan before I leave. Alright, I'm starting to feel more determined than ever. We'll have to best our tails with these jobs so we don't tarnish your name while you're gone. Oh, Estelle, my beloved daughter, Papa is so proud. Oh, my dear Lena, who art in heaven, can you see your daughter now? Our little Estelle has grown up to be such a lovely young woman. Face it, Dad, you're getting old. If people lose their trust in you at this age, you might as well throw in the towel forever. I'm only helping you out because I'm your daughter and I have a duty to pay you back for the last 16 years. I'm only 45, and what's more, I'm very likely the most active member in the entire guild. Not bad for a pair of comedians. By the way, Dad, which flight will you be on tomorrow? The one headed for Gransel or the one headed for Bose? I'll be on the one headed for Gransel. My flight departs at 10 o'clock in the morning. That means I'll have to get up a little earlier tomorrow. I'd better set my alarm clock, just in case. Next time I can. Okay. Dad, are you still awake, Joshua? You'd better hold off on the liquor or Estelle will get mad again. This is just my way of lifting my spirits before I travel. How about yourself? Would you like to join me for a drink? I'll pass. Actually, what I should be saying here is, don't offer alcohol to minors. Not like Shara, who would jump at any chance to enjoy a drink or 10. That's because she holds her liquor much better than I do. There's something really serious happening, isn't there? There's no conclusive evidence, but there appears to be some sort of movement within the Empire. The Erebonian Empire? That sounds pretty suspicious. This movement doesn't appear to be overt, but that's what has me worried. I intend to do a little probing at the Erebonian Embassy to see what turns up. Understood. I'll make sure to look after Estelle when you're gone. Don't you spoil that girl, you hear me? Now that she's become a bracer, she needs to learn to look after herself. Estelle will be fine. She's got good instincts, and despite being a bit rough around the edges, she has talent with the staff as well. There's no doubt in my mind that she'll be a first-class bracer someday. Yet at present, she's like a babe in arms who knows nothing about the realities of the world around her. At some point in time, she'll have to choose which path to follow in life. And Joshua, the same can be said for you too. It's already been 5 years since you became a part of this family, hasn't it? How time does fly. Yes, sure does seem that way. But what you said back then, are you sure you won't reconsider taking those words back? For me, keeping my word is what defines who I am. If I can't do something as simple as that, I don't know how I could live as myself. I know this may sound stubborn, but I can't take back what I said. I'm sorry. There's no need to apologize. But I'd like you to remember this. No matter what path you choose in life, you can't erase these past 5 years. Estelle and I will always be your family. No matter what may befall you. Nod. Thanks, Dad. That's not ominous. Not at all. A father's love, a new beginning. Well, it looks like it's time for me to board my flight. Estelle, don't do anything I wouldn't do myself, and try not to be a handful for Joshua either. For the umpteenth time, I heard you already. How about you try not to go overboard with your own work? You're not getting any younger, you know? Say what you will, but I'm not about to be overtaken by any youngsters. Scherazard, I'm really sorry about placing all this work on your shoulders as fast as Please don't be. I am slightly concerned, however, about whether or not I can do a decent job in your face. There's no need to be humble, Silver Streak. I don't mean to make your life any more difficult, but please keep an eye on these two. You just leave that to me. Is tightening up the reins and not spoiling these two fine with you? You definitely understand the way I think. What's this all about? Haha, it looks to me like a mutual understanding between master and pupil. The Rancho-bound airliner, Linda, will be departing shortly. All passengers, please board the airship now. Uh-oh, I better take my seat. Have a great trip, Dad. We'll take care of everything here while you're gone. When you're done with your work, make sure you come straight home and no goofing off. Is that any way to see your beloved Papa off? Oh well, I'll try my best to come home as soon as I can. Alright, you two, be good while I'm gone. He's gone. Again. Yeah. Come on, you two. There's no need to look so down. Your father will be back in no time. I don't know what kind of investigation he's been asked to do this time, but when it comes to your father, he'll have it done before you know it. I'm not sad he's gone. He's always been away more than he's been at home. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, I'm going to get to work on those jobs your father left for me. If you run into any trouble, give me a holler. Will do, but thanks, I'd like to try and finish a few jobs with Joshua. I want to see what we're capable of doing as junior bracers. Alright, if you insist. I imagine that with Joshua tagging along, there's probably not much to be worried about. Good luck, you two. Thanks. We'll do our best. So, what do you want to do now, Estelle? Shall we go stop by the guild? Yeah, we should probably talk to Lina and find out what jobs are waiting for us. Let's go! Okay, I have yet to eat today, so I'm going to save, and I'm going to quit. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to continue this tomorrow, and talk to you later. Bye.